Welcome everyone. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of debugging. Whether you are a junior or beginner developer or an experienced developer, this session will equip you with techniques to debug effectively and saves your time. So let's start the ultimate guide to debugging like a pro. So why debugging matters? Like debugging is more than fixing the errors. It's basically about understanding the root cause and ensuring long-term stability in your code base. So here are some key points like debugging saves time and reduces stress, prevents cascading errors in production, enhances problem-solving skills. So there are some common debugging mistakes. So the mistakes we often make when debugging is to identifying and avoiding these pitfalls is the first step toward becoming a debugging like a pro. So here are some key mistakes that I mentioned, like gazing instead of analyzing, skipping error messages, overlooking logs or stack traces, not reproducing the issue consistently. So the debugging mindset is really important. So the debugging requires a mindset of curiosity and patience. Like you should have the curiosity and patience to figure out the root cause. So approach is bug is a puzzle like waiting to be solved. So you need to think it as a puzzle that you need to solve. So here are some key points that we need to think about to build the debugging mindset, which is like stay calm and avoid frustration, break down the problem into smaller parts, be curious and methodical. So there are some tools of the trade, like the right tools make debugging significantly easier. And from ID debuggers, like to monitoring platforms, let's explore how these tools works in harmony. So, like let's say if I consider like ID debuggers, there are breakpoints and step throws, logging like structured logs with timestamps and severity levels. So when you put logs with timestamps and severity levels, then it will easier to find the actual root cause. And also the browser dev tools also helps us a lot in front-end developer, especially like inspecting front-end issues. Like browser dev tools is amazing. And then the monitoring like error tracking tools like Sentry or Datadog is like save you lots of time and will help you tremendously to figure out the root cause. Now the debugging techniques. So effective debugging is a systematic process, and reproducing and isolating the issue are key before jumping into the fix. So reproduce the bug in a controlled environment and isolate the problematic code or process. So you need to isolate the problematic code. So you couldn't went through all the code base. Like you need to find out like the suspected problematic code area, and then you need to isolate that part. Use binary search to look at the error, and you can test thoroughly after fixing. So this can those debugging techniques I think you could follow. So there are real life debugging strategies. So like advanced as I already mentioned that advanced debugging isn't just about solving the problem. So it's about like preventing it from recurring and sharing knowledge with the team. So there are some real life debugging strategies like analyze error messages carefully, and you can use console log or print for quick checks, and compare working versus broken scenarios. Like you can compare the working code base with the broken code base, and also you can collaborate with the teammates for a fresh perspective. And debugging front end versus back end, this is also interesting. Front end focus on dev tools like inspect elements and network requires, whether back end like which is analyze logs, database queries and API endpoints. Although and also you might need to check the API server logs, like where your API or where your backend services is being deployed. You need to check that logs. And also like communication is key when working across stacks. So there are some advanced debugging tips like use version control to pinpoint changes causing issues. Or it might happen that the previous commit doesn't have that error, but the latest commit might have that error. So you need to maintain that version control to pinpoint the changes, and also like automate test cases for S scenarios and leverage feature flags to isolate problems in production. Let's say you build a features which causes the problem. Then you need to hide that features, like, or you need to isolate that features from the working features. And feature flags really helps you a lot in this kind of scenarios in production especially. And document your findings for future reference, so that in future if this kind of problems occur, then everyone can go to that reference and can see like why this problem is happened and what is the solutions. So yeah, and here is a real world examples like of how systematic debugging saved the day, and notice the emphasis on both analysis and verification. So let's say there is a bug like users unable to log in after deployment. So there is a process to debug that bug. So you need to reproduce the error locally. That is the first steps. And then you need to check the server logs for errors, like why the users is unable to log in. And then you need to found a misconfigured environment variable if any, or deploy the fix and monitor it for recurrence. So that can be the process for debugging this problem. And then the debugging as a team sport, like collaboration is a debugging superpower. Like by working together, teams can identify and solve issues faster. Like you are not alone, like in when you are working as a team, you can took help from the team members as a third eye. Like sometimes we couldn't find out the problem easily when we are working alone, but when we take help from the team, then it's easier to find the problem. So pair programming for fresh perspectives, like you can do the pair programming to figure out the root cause, and also like code reviews to catch potential issues early, and shared logs and monitoring dashboards, which is also important. So yeah, so remember, every bug is an opportunity to grow. So thank you for watching this session, and happy debugging. And before closing the session, I would like to share like debugging is a skill earned over time, and stay curious and keep learning and celebrate small wins. So yeah, so happy coding, and thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. And make sure like to subscribe to my channels for more amazing content. And see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe.